Hello everyone, Mark here with Mark's Max Muscle, and this is the final matchup in the 1960s Gladiator Round Tournament. But more than that, it is an outstanding comparison between two legends. Serge Nubret takes on Sergio Oliva. This, of course, is the front relaxed position, and I must say that classical aesthetic stance of Sergio Oliva is taking not taking a point in the upper body, I would say, is taking an edge because Sergio Oliva looks fantastic as well. Look at that small little wee waist. But in the lower body, you see now Sergio Oliva, monstrous set of quads. Look at the size of those legs. This is a nice little feature I'm going to start doing if I can now. Front relaxed position's not going to be an entire point. I'm going to throw a couple of side shots like these in which case, a little unfair for Sergio. Doesn't really show the legs. We are safe to assume his legs are larger and better as well, perhaps. The upper body looks fairly equal here. Look at the pecs of these two creatures. Wow. Fantastic. But I'm not settled yet. Let's turn these two just fantastic specimens around. Look at the back regions. Now I see a weakness. Serge Nubret, look at his calves. Look at his calves. Other than that, pretty almost right on par with each other as far as back development is concerned. And maybe made a little bit more detail for Sergio. But look at the quads. Look at the legs. Sergio Oliva takes an overall 1 point for the front relaxed, side position, and rear relaxed. Here we have a look at the front lat spread, and need I say anything at all? If you are a fan of bodybuilding, which you probably are if you're tuning into this channel, you know that Sergio Oliva is dominating this front lat spread. Look at those lats. His lat region is almost totally filled up, much like Dorian Yates. It's Dorian-esque. Oh, my soul. This front lat spread of Serge Nubret is a tragedy. It's a tragedy mostly because Serge Nubret is a fantastic bodybuilder with mostly top 10 poses, but this front lat spread, oh, pay you. Not nice at all. Not very aesthetic either. So, Sergio Oliva takes a dominant point here. This is a 2-0 game so far. Here we have the side chest pose, and I'm sure some of you are wondering why I'm using 1970s footage, even though this is the 1960s Gladiator Round Tournament. If you're unfamiliar with the Gladiator Round rules, you're allowed to use any picture that's the best of these guys, whether it's the 1940s or the 1980s, as long as they competed in the decade that they are in the tournament brackets of. And this is the 1960s, but of course, this is the 75 rather, of Serge Nubret, one of the best versions of him. Just unreal conditioning. And he is taking a point here. I have a little bit of a gripe with Sergio Oliva. Sorry, I get these names confused. Sergio Oliva, I mean, he had one of the best set of pecs, but he just did not pull the side chest pose off. I don't know. I hate to nitpick this man. He's a legend. He is better than I'll ever think of even imagining being. But I don't like his side chest pose. Serge Nubret finally gets on the board here with a point, 2-1. Here we have the side chest pose. Now this is the late 80s, the comeback version of Sergio Oliva. I couldn't find any competition-ready side tricep poses of this man. And this is only competition, only pictures. Other than the arm itself, Serge Nubret is dominating. Look how aesthetic he looks. The chest, the abs, everything, even the legs here. But of course, Sergio Oliva is not really displaying a huge, big, pronounced tricep there. So I'm going to go with Serge Nubret. He ties things up here. He looks good in the side shots. Here we have the rear double bicep pose. And I apologize for any of you that were inconvenienced. The last pose, the side tricep, I introduced it as the side chest. apologize. The rear double bicep pose, it's difficult to say. You cannot see the detail of Serge Nubret, although I think that width and that back development of Sergio Oliva would dominate regardless or irregardless, whatever is the more intelligent word to use in that situation. This is an interesting picture here, the 1985, the comeback of Sergio Oliva. Look at the detail and conditioning of his back here. I'm not saying he was better overall, he was much smaller, but the back development almost looks better. That'd be a good little comparison too. Either way, Sergio Oliva takes a strong point in the back shot, and this is unfortunate for you Serge Nubret fans. I was unable to find a rear lat spread of his, and you know the Gladiator Round rules. If you do not have a competition ready pitcher, on stage pitcher, you get deducted a point. But saving grace here, you would have probably lost this one anyway. Look at the back of Serge Nubret, or Sergio Oliva, sorry. I did it again. Either way, that's 2 points in both the back shots for Sergio Oliva. Now we move on to this, the ab and thigh shot. This is an easy victory for Serge Nubret, much like the front lat spread for Sergio Oliva. I mean, take your pick here. These two athletes, one guy wins one shot, dominates. The other guy dominates the opposite shot. I mean, come on. This is an awesome, outstanding matchup. Look at the ab development on Serge Nubret, and even the thigh here. Looks fantastic. Not the best shot for our friend Sergio Oliva. This, of course, is his comeback version. Here we have the most muscular pose. I must be a little bit nitpicky here of Sergio Oliva. This is much like the side chest shot. He should have had a fantastic one, and it does look good, mind you. These two are right on par with each other. But, Serge Nubret, he picks up the game here. He adds a little specific motion here, a little shot. Wow, looks good. Very aesthetically pleasing. Takes this most muscular shot against the more thicker athlete, which is very surprising to me. You'll notice on the board that it is a tie game. I did this for anticipation, to add a little tension to this matchup. This is the last shot, the front double bicep pose, and I saved this one to the end because honestly, ladies and gentlemen, for anybody to say that one of these guys would have destroyed the other, no. This is a very even matchup. Even here, this is bananas versus grapes here, apples versus oranges, if you will. One guy has the separation in the muscle, no doubt. If you're looking at that, the conditioning, Serge Nubret gets it. Look at the biceps, look at the abs. But then you look at the overall shape, the proportions. Look at the legs. Look at the little tiny waist of Sergio Oliva, and his conditioning, pretty good too. Ladies and gentlemen, it's almost a toss-up here in this front double bicep pose, but I'm giving it to Sergio Oliva. That's right, he is your winner of this 1960's Gladiator Round Tournament. Bravo! This was a heck of a tournament, I must say, and this was a heck of a final matchup. So kudos to Serge Nubret, but this is Sergio Oliva's time to shine. Thank you very much for every athlete that took part in this tournament, but an extra special thanks to Sergio Oliva, and he's up there in heaven right now, the late great, and of course, Serge Nubret also. Why did the good have to die so young? Either way, I thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of the Gladiator Round Finals, and of course, next week, we will feature the 1970's final. Lou Ferrigno takes on Arnold Schwarzenegger. And of course, the following week, we'll feature the 1980's. I am, as promised, releasing these because you guys got me to 1,000 subscribers. You guys did it, of course, like I said before. Thank you very much. If you haven't already, go ahead and tap that subscribe button and bump my sub level up a little bit more, perhaps over 1,000. Let's head for 2,000. Who knows? Hope you enjoyed the video. Have a great day.